Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are back live for this Sunday unfiltered MUFC podcast. You know the ones there Sunday night. Listen, there might not be any football, especially club football, but there is still some United news to talk about. But we're here today. We've got a man like Ash in the building. Ash, what are you saying?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Don't know about you, but I'm not watching internationals. Well, I say I'm not watching internationals, not watching England internationals. There's not a United player in there. I kind of just lose interest. It's just not there for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we're in this middle ground at the moment where we've not got our manager proper in a job yet. So yeah, just not been that interested. I watched Argentina versus Paraguay. I watched Garnacho stink up the place, but other than that, yeah. been chilling. Just getting on with it.
That's it, man. Big up to Double A. What are you saying?
Oh, good, bro. Yes, I'm same as Ash. Obviously, Brazil, my national team. Well, I say the national team that I support. So I'm not watching them. Do you know what I mean? It's too early in the morning. But yeah, obviously, Irish heritage wasn't nice seeing England spank Ireland. But again, who really cares? Do you know what I mean? We just want. Who'd think, yeah, that Manchester United would be so gassed for an Ipswich game? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I just cannot wait. Cannot wait for United to be back, mate. And you know, the optimism is flying around, and I'm absolutely here for it after being in the doldrums. But as always, you know, get the place. You know what am I talking about? Good to be here, Saeed. Thank you very much for the invite. Good to see my twin brother Ash, and obviously my hype man, Flawless, and the best chat on YouTube as always. You know what I mean? Love and hate, but we're here every week, so it's all good, man. Excited to talk about United for once.
Yeah.
In a while.
Absolutely. And big up Flawless. What are you saying, bro?
Blessings. Big up for having me on the show. As always, shouts to Double A, Ash, the chat as well. Appreciate it as always. Saeed, always look forward to the show. And yeah, it feels very strange for the first time in a long time. Genuinely happy to talk about Manchester United. Look forward to it. The conversations we're having, the questions that are being asked, just the general positivity around the club. And Double A mentioned it there. Looking forward to Ipswich away. Never so much of I look forward to Ipswich away. And I can't remember the last time I looked forward to a Manchester United game so much after the international break. Because normally during the international breaks, it was, when's the manager going? Is he going yet? This is the perfect opportunity to sack him, etc. And then it never happened. And then we get the game. And then he don't get sacked, and then we have to go into the game with him. So yeah, international breaks always dry though. Had the unfortunate task of watching USA play Jamaica. That was terrible. Not only did Jamaica lose, it was an awful match. Absolutely. And I got to do it all again. I think it's tomorrow. I think the second leg's tomorrow. I think Nations League quarterfinal. So great. You know what I'm saying? Not only did they lose, the football was awful. The pitch was terrible. I've played on better Sunday League pitches over here. It was what we looked like Huff End. That's what it looked like. But yeah, other than that, all good.
Yeah, big up to you, man. Big up to you.
Yeah,
there you go.
You know what? Ravel Morrison's in the squad, so that's a help. That's a help.
Hey, Saeed was trying to cook us on Friday night.
What was he? What were you trying to say there?
You man lost to America, innit? You man lost. I was like, this.
Hey, what an Afghan appearance to Somalia, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What are they on? What are they on?
Listen, where we'll get there. We'll get there, man. We'll get there one day.
You'll get where? You'll get where? Hold on, wait, what? You'll get where?
We'll get somewhere, innit? We'll get maybe
you'll get somewhere.
Not something. You know what I'm saying?
I said we'll get there. We'll get somewhere. Where will you get?
Players out there in Europe, but just not play for the national team. That's the peak, man. So we'll see. We'll see, man.
I said we'll get there. We'll get
there.
Some way, somehow, we'll get there.
Yeah, some way, somehow, man. So yeah,
ain't no mountain high enough, innit? That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah. Well, big up to everyone who's locked in. Make sure you don't hit the like button, man. We've currently got, let me just check the likes right now. Currently 100 likes, 450 people here. Smash the like, people. Helps the channel massively. And tag the video. Amorim wants instant improvement and performances, man. There was, I think Romano put something out on his YouTube channel saying about in recent months, you know, Erik ten Hag always wanted to remind everyone that young players like Mainu, Garnacho, Højlund, etc. needed time and patient development. But Amorim, the vision is that if you're at Man United, it means you should be ready to be a Man United player. You just want to hear about time. You have to take responsibility. I like that, man. I like the energy. I can't lie to you. that right there is a strong message, man, because we always keep talking about time, but bro, if you getting paid a lot of money and you wear that United shirt, you gotta have criticism, man. It comes along with the territory. You know, sometimes they get, protected a lot, these players, man. So I'm glad he said that, man. And the fact that he's come out there and he's putting his feelers out, say the demands are high and we expect a lot from these players. I love that, you get me? It's very, very much needed for me because too many
mentality, bro.
Man. Too many.
It's the right mentality. A lot of the players, we've said it about so many young players, and I think it's something that gets labelled against, particular, I think, Garnacho when he has a stinker or when he's getting criticised. If you're old enough, you're good. Are you good enough? You're old enough. Old enough, good enough. Which I can't even say it right. If you're
good enough, you're old enough.
If you're good enough, you're old enough. Yeah,
you got that.
Yeah, it's a Sunday night, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? It's one of them. So Amorim's backing that up, innit? Do you know what I mean? He's like saying, "Listen, what all this patience? What we're talking about? Like, and he said it. He said to get time, you have to win. So it's like he knows from day one. He's 18-month contract or whatever it is. He hasn't got time. He has to make an instant impact. So they're not throwing 5-year contracts at a head coach. It's a case of we'll see where we are in 18 months and the trajectory you're going to take us on. So from day one, he said it. You may not like what you're seeing, but you're going to see something. It's none of this.
Yeah.
Because the one thing, some people say it's a bad thing, or I've seen some people saying it's a bad thing, but I actually think it's a good thing that he doesn't have a preseason. He doesn't have, the downtime to build anything. It is from minute one. Like, absolutely, we're going in from day one training. This is what we're doing because we don't have any time to waste. And you could talk about the league and being 4 points behind, but I don't expect it to be instant success. But that's a good thing as well. I think just seeing an idea, seeing an identity, seeing a culture that this head coach, I have to keep reminding myself he's not a manager anymore. The head coach that Amorim has to build back Manchester United back up. And we talk with everyone that listened to that or watched that interview the other day and going back and watching it again, we were all buzzing on Friday, like absolutely, like we couldn't believe the things he was saying. And looking back at it, and there's very, very veiled digs, and there's not digs, but like calling out of players. And if I can do this, you can do this. And this is Manchester United. We are this. It's a clear message. As much as it's the fans seeing him for the first time at Old Trafford and listening to him, it's very. I think watching it back, it's very much he's laying down a message to the players that are currently here. Like, if you don't buck up quick, you're gone. And it's as simple as that. And I don't have time to waste. And if you're going to waste my time, the door's there. So I'm fully on board with everything that's coming out from what Amorim's saying. And I said, I cannot wait. Cannot wait for Ipswich. Who would have thought? Do you know what I'm saying? But it's a good time to be a Manchester United fan. It's a good dawn of a new era for sure for me.
Because what it is, if he comes out here and says like, patience is needed for players, etc., like, I think it sets a wrong precedent, because then these players go into that comfortable stage of we're hearing about patience and we're still young and we're molding. Like, that's what happens. If you come into an environment and you're persistently talking about patience, you can talk about patience in the sense of it's not a quick fix, but you can't also say that people can relax and performances can be, justified, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you mentioned it there with the young players, and it's like they do need patience. Yes, in the essence of they're not the finished article. Even if you're a very good player, we all rate Maino very, very highly. We all know Maino is not the finished article, so he is still developing. However, he's at the level now where when he plays to a good standard, and that's what it needs to be. That's where the criticism with a Garnacho lies. That's where the criticism with a Højlund lies, for example, is because they've fallen below a certain standard despite what age you are. You being a youth player you being a young player, I should say, should not allow you to drop below a certain standard for Manchester United. We're not asking for you to be world class. We're asking you to be just consistent. Be a competent level, which Garnacho, Højlund, and many others haven't been. This is why the manager's been sacked. This is why we've broke all the records, etc. So the fact he's saying that, I like that, because people have stated, oh, it's not a quick fix with Manchester United. Well, of course not. That's just common sense. There is no quick fix. There's no spell. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Harry Potter. We ain't in Hogwarts. Can't just cast the spell and magically it turns around. But what he said here, he wants instant improvement in performances. Yeah, that is easy. And when I say the instant improvements in performances and as a team and individual performances get better, it's easier to get better than 0 to 1. The bar is on the floor. So just get us performing to a competent level. That's a start. Now, that's not the final stage, because the final stage is Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues. That is the aim. Big up to Mojo. I appreciate that. Thank you. That is the final aim. But we just need to get back to competing again. Let's get back to being a consistent top 4 side again. Let's get back to just being in the Champions League last stages again. All these are steps to success. I know this kind of sounds like a TED talk, but yeah, like that's what it is. It's steps to success. And that's what Amorim has to do. I think he has an easy job in terms of improving what we've got going on, because the bar's on the floor. I'm saying, look at the result. We had what was it? 11 points from 9 games. Last time we had that, we got relegated. It's not really tough to improve upon that. We was going at a rate under Ten Hag at less than a goal a game. You telling me these players are not better than a goal a game? Like, come on, man. Spurs have won 1 game away from home all season. That was against us. West Ham are terrible. A lot of their fan base want their manager out. We go there and lose. Palace have won 1 game all season and got a draw against us. These are not tough things to improve upon. And that's just results. Never mind the performances in those games. Spurs, terrible. All right, West Ham, we were better, but missed a whole load of chances. Palace, good for a half and then very, very passive in the second half. So it's not, you don't have a tough task in that essence immediately, in my opinion.
I think he's got a tough task. You know where I think he's got a tough task though, Flaws? The fact that he's not got much time on the training ground with the players.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be so many games over the next couple of weeks just coming thick and fast, and he's not really going to have time to really implement his system and his style in the way that he's going to want it to play. So if somehow we get a few bad results or just we trip up here and there, then it could all start getting on top of him a little bit, and I don't want to see him revert into like a 4 at the back, changing his mentality, his identity, which we've heard a lot of in his first interview and kind of in the years leading up to him, taking this job. He all about the identity of his 3-4-3. So I do worry for him, because a lot of these players we've seen them just not perform and not show up. We've heard all the nice things, we've heard all the positive things from them. Do you know what I mean? But when it actually comes to it, they've not turned up. How many times we've seen with Rashford or with Garnacho? And I agree with the sentiment. Like, the time is now. Yeah, we've got to win things now. Do you know what I mean? We've got to improve here. Like, not worry about next year, the year after. I've always hated that mentality of like 2-3 years. I've been hearing it from people all over the place. Like, oh no, he needs 3 years, needs 4 years, whatever. Even Amorim himself shouldn't be getting 2-3 years. He's got 18 months. Do you know what I mean? He's got to improve. That's what top world class managers do. They come in, they make improvements, they make big improvements from the get go. Whether he's going to be able to do that with what we've got, it's going to be. And here's the thing,
you mentioned it there about him not having much time on the training pitch, but you mentioned there again, if he's top class, world class, he'll be fine. He'll work a way around that. Does he have a tough task? Absolutely. What the task he has is extremely difficult, and it's become even more difficult because he's not even got a summer transfer window to even try and get new players in. He's not had a preseason with these players to assess who's good enough and who's not good enough. You are literally working with what you have until January and for the vast majority to the end of the season. However, if he's as good as we think he is, if he's as good as the general consensus is, he will do well, in my opinion. Now, if he's not, he will fail. And we talk about implementing systems. When Tuchel took over from Lampard, he didn't have long on the training pitch. I believe that Lampard's last game, they lost to Arsenal. Tuchel went in there, took over. I think he had a couple of days training sessions and they played Wolves. They drew the game. He played a back three. I watched both of those games. There was an instant difference. So I'm expecting him to, not in terms of results and we're flying, there should be a significant difference in just the way we are playing and the way we're setting up. You only need to meet two sessions to get your instructions across into how you want to play. Yeah. Now, the level of it is different. I'm not saying that's the highest level, but it should be, the principles are there. Back three, don't revert back to a back four. Do not revert back to a back four. You were signed because of what you've done previously, playing a back three, play a back three. Please don't play a back four, which I don't think he will. even if we get a couple bad results.
And the one thing I just saying that as well, sorry, is that he actually said in the interview, don't worry about the
formation. Yeah,
it's not necessarily you know, and the one thing we're looking at with him, he can adapt in game and he can change, which Ten Hag couldn't. So I wouldn't. The one thing I'd say, Ash, is it because people put it down that he's changing his formation. What he will not bend on and will not change is his ideology and the culture, and like he was saying, that what he wants to get out of these players. It's for me now. I think I'm not saying write this season off, but this is where do we go with him now? What can we see from him from the day he comes in till the end of the season? But I'll just let me just land. Sorry, mate. And then, so for me, it's the players that are on the clock. It's all about the players, because regardless of how much time on the training pitch they have, it's on them to fucking get the ideas to let it sink in their head. And it's enough for me. It's enough time for him between games to get his point across. I think he comes. It's not like Ten Hag, mate, when he couldn't really understand a lot of what he was saying. I think he communicates really well, and I'm not just talking about I'm not just talking about how well he speaks English. I think he's very clear and concise in how he gets his points across watching that interview. So I'm fully expecting from day one that the players are sat down, and if they can't take it on board, they're out the door, mate. And this is what I mean. And I'm happy for this, not happy for this season, but I'm willing to accept this season that we're like this, because it's a learning curve on him getting his ideas across and us finally having, like I said, you will see something on that first game. So I'm expecting by March, April that we know exactly where this team is heading under this head coach. But I'm not too worried about if we do have some bad results that the tide's going to turn on him and he's going to buckle. I don't think the pressure's going to get for him. So it's going to get to him. So I fully believe, I believe that he'll stick to his ideology. I believe in his ideas, and it's on the players to do that, to get on board with that, or they're going to be shipped out. But I understand what you're saying, because obviously coming into this situation, coming into this split fan base, this culture of not wanting to be a loser, not wanting to lose, wanting to fight for the big trophies, can take a lot of managers down. Ten Hag and previous managers have all crumbled under this pressure. I'm not saying he's the Messiah. I'm not saying he's a second coming. I'm not saying he's someone that's gonna take us like this all the way.
That's all I'm saying, though. Double A is just that we're gonna have in this period now. He's got a lot of games to play, and it's not going to be all roses. Do you know what I mean? There is going to be moments where he's not going to be able to get his system fully implemented. He's not going to be able to do what he wants to do, and it's because a lot of fans have come in. They've seen the result against City. You know, they're listening to him talk, and they're thinking it's just going to be win. We're just going to hit the ground running, and we're all of a sudden going to have a massive upturn in form, and that can be the case. You know, you see that with his charisma and with his personality, and I believe that will be the biggest improvement, is actually getting players to fight more. Do you know what I mean? More so than the identity itself. I think you'll actually get players more invested, because we've all been listening to Erik Ten Hag for the last 2 years. That guy, do you know what I mean? He's boring. Like, no one wants to listen to him. No one's inspired by him. Do you know what I mean? No one wants to do anything for him. So whereas Amorim, you can already tell he's got a personality. Do you know what I mean? And one of the biggest things that he was spoken about while he was at Sporting was his ability to get players to buy into his philosophy, buy into his ideas. And I think that's one of the things that he's got to do very early on. I think it's his first foray into the Premier League. It's going to be tough over these next couple of weeks, and I'm not expecting us to hit the ground running. I just feel it is going to be a little bit bumpy at first, and it's one of those where, like I said, I'm tempering expectation for now, because it's, like I said, there's a lot that can go wrong.
On the other side, mate, I'm actually more optimistic that we have more games, because I think with actual coaching and in-game coaching, I actually think we're going to see it a lot better. I think what we need is to see
more adjustments, because you can make more adjustments, can't you, in the games?
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that the more games, the merrier. Because we were talking about was it the season? One season with Ten Hag, when we got knocked out of Europe. He's like, now he's got more time on the training pitch to implement. It never fucking came, did it? Nothing ever. Nothing grew from that. It was a waste of time. So I think the more games we have with Amorim and with these players, we can actually start to see a trajectory with him for sure.
And also, we can identify with more games who can do what. because he's being given these players, you have to, and I keep saying this, yes, eventually I want the vast majority of these players moved on. However, what can you get out of these players just to an adequate level to help your system? We've all spoken in depth about the wing-back situation. Who can play wing-back just to a decent level for him? Who maybe can play in the pivot? Who can be one of the centre-backs, for example? Who operates in the 2-10 roles, or one of the 10 roles, I should say. So I think that really does help him, rather than coaching, just being out there. It's like kind of like learning how to drive. Like, yeah, you can do your theory test, you know what I'm saying, answer all the questions, but the only way you're really going to learn is to get out on the road. You have to get out on the road and get behind the actual wheel of the car and drive. And that's what he's doing here. Put yourself in the, like, because he can coach these, man. Let's say he had them right now, and all the Manchester United players were there up until the Ipswich game, and he has the whole week. He can coach them and say, give them instructions. I need you to do this, do that, do this, do that. But then once it's in game, that it might not work out that way. Maybe Ipswich do something slightly different. I'm just using them as an example. That's who we're playing. Adjustments. Whereas now, because what we're forgetting, not only are the players taking on instruction, he's learning. This is new for him. New opposition, new league, new country, facing new tactics, etc. This is with a whole squad that's not his. So as much as we talk about players developing and getting better, Amorim's there too. I expect Amorim to use this as a learning curve for the league. All right, that's slightly different then. How does he manage in Europe in the Premier and the Premier League? How does he alternate? What does he do if we have, let's say we draw Lazio in the Europa League and then we got Southampton at home? Does he alternate heavily? Like, what does he do in terms of that? In terms of just squad lineups? How does he keep everyone happy? Man management, etc. So I'm interested to see exactly how he does, though.
Yeah, big up.
Sorry, go
big
on.
up. Suji said, big up the panel. Over 800 here. Hit the like button, subscribe. We need minimum 500 likes. Make sure you subscribe to the panel as well. Yeah, make sure you check out everyone's channels. Links in the description below. And yeah, hit the like button, people. Free to do so. Doesn't cost you a penny. Hit the like button. But yeah, go on. What are you saying?
Yeah, I just that comment from African Paul there saying all players get a clean slate. Absolutely not. And this is the thing when a new no. So this seems like I'm about to jump onto it, and I ain't even saying that. I'm not naming any names. I ain't singling out anyone. But players do not deserve a clean slate when a new manager comes in, because you know the history is there of what they've done. And then if you start to see certain players turn it on for 3-4 months, playing out their skin, you know why, because they've done it with previous managers. They don't deserve a clean slate. What they have to do for me is get on board immediately and consistently do it. So for instance, where I'm at right now is that I just want Manchester United to be good again, good playing football, entertaining, challenging for as we all want to. So my mindset right now is if the head coach, if Amorim can get the best out of these players for the rest of the season, win us Europa League, get us top 4 as a base. Again, it was similar to Ten Hag as a base. That is a start, and then from there, if he decides, because he's the head coach, so I back what the head coach wants for now. So if he decides certain players that were successful from here on out to the end of the season, get him over the line, and he then decides that I'm going to give them another, that, and I'm absolutely fine with that. It's not a clean slate. I'm never going to forget exactly what certain players have done. But let's just say if certain players play well for 5-6 months, and then start to drop off again, I know exactly what it is, and I expect the club to act accordingly and get rid of them. So it's not a clean slate. It's just, let's see what we can do with what we've got right now. Because one thing I know about Amorim, he's not a fool, and he won't be fooled by players that just turn it on for certain games, because he'll see the day in and the day out. So I expect him to make full assessments of every single player, and in the summer we'll know it for sure who's saying. No, I'm not calling them out. It's not about calling. You can talk about every single player, because every single player has been absolutely shit.
You can
apart from Mazraoui and Delay and Onana, a couple of them, yeah.
Yeah, a couple.
I'm not. It's not about calling players out, because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm just telling you, no player should deserve a clean slate. Not one.
Yeah, it's about proving you're a useful asset for the time being. That's how I look at it. And don't be fooled to add on to what Double A saying. Don't be fooled if players are playing well, because we know their level. So don't get fooled by a player performing at a higher level than we expect. Still go and try and improve on that area, because eventually these players got to get moved on. Best case scenario for these players is, okay, you're a useful asset to us. But come the season 26, 27, I don't want to see any of these men in the starting lineup. I'm not going to lie. Take out a few, maybe a Maserati, a Maino, a Delit. That's pretty much it, to be honest. I don't really like. I'm not forgetting what has happened previously, and as bad as Ten Hag was, terrible, absolute terrorist in charge of the dugout. Them players was like those performances were still unforgivable. Some of the things like I watched you man not try, I watched you man not compete and not close down. That's unforgivable. So we ain't just gonna forget about that because a new manager's in and now you're performing better because you're getting better instructions. Like no, it's not all solely on Ten Hag. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Go on.
Can I name one player for the chat to come back and say does he deserve a clean slate? Lucas Shaw, right? You're telling me, right? He deserves a clean slate under Amorim. That's just one player, right? I'm gonna say. You let me know in the chat, guys. Luke Shaw, does he deserve a clean slate under Amorim? Let me know that because that's where we're at. Well, exactly, bro. Because you know what I'm saying. So he doesn't deserve. You know, for him, right? And I've never really spoke about this. For him to not play since February, right, and then decide to take himself to the Euros, yeah, not play for most of the games, but play in the final, to then come back to us injured. He's not fit all the way up until this manager gets sacked. Right. So listen.
Wait, is he fit now? Is he back?
He's training.
No.
He's training, bro.
He's training. Yeah, that's outrageous. That's outrageous.
Bro.
He's training.
I didn't know he was training. That's outrageous.
Bro, literally, bro. As soon as the news dropped on that Monday that Ten Hag was gone, he had his boots on, bro. He was doing kick-ups on Carrington, mate.
This
is what I'm saying. So listen, I don't forget that. And as much as Amorim might come in, I might turn him into the best left centre back in a free. He might do that, and if he does that, we gain from that. But I'm not forgetting what he did because he called out Ten Hag. He basically put that injury in February on Ten Hag and the coaching staff. I'm not going to forget that because you can say to the manager, "I'm not fit, mate. I don't think I'm ready to play." But you decided to do it. It's everyone's fault. And then you decided to go to the Euros. You decided to do that. You decided to come back unfit. And then we've not seen you since when we need you. So I will not forget that. And I don't think he deserves a clean slate. And that's just one player from 6 or 7, I would say, that in the squad for sure. And I agree with what Z's saying because a lot of them are new. And I'm not saying they don't get a clean slate because it's still too early to tell on a lot of them. But the ones that have been here before Ten Hag or around Ten Hag that have fundamentally helped get him sacked in some ways, as much as he was to blame, they have helped as well. Some players don't deserve a clean slate. 100%.
Yeah, just to clarify, people forget we're not including the new. I can speak for me. Not including the new signings in that because they just got here. They've been here 3 months. Not talking about man who's been August, September, October. No, you've been here 3 months. You've not even been here for working months. Big up to Lewis every single time. So we're not including them. So I'm not including. Of course, I'm not like Maserati and Delit and Xerxes and Agate. It's like I don't think. Yoro who's not played. Oh, you don't deserve a clean slate. Like Yoro's not been here. Like we're not including them people. We're talking about literally everybody else. If you ain't had 5 league starts in a row, I'm not really. And Maserati's played well as Delit as well. I'm talking about the rest of them, not a clean slate. Prove you're useful is where I'm at. The time's ticking. It's just on you how long you will be here for. But to me, there is no more clean slates. You should be moved on. At best case scenario for you, squad player. I don't want to see any of these in the lineup. Come the second season around, I don't want to see any of them in the lineup. Something's gone wrong. I don't believe they're good enough, even under Amorim, and we're flying. Who? Maybe Maino. You could have included Diallo, but the point I'm making is there's very few and far between. That I'm like, I want to see them in the lineup. Come Amorim's second summer. Because we would have brought in maybe 8, 9, 10 players at that point over 2 summers. Yeah. It's now his team. So something's gone wrong. If Rashford and Bruno, you know what I'm saying, and then man and Lindelof are all still out, Shaw's still out there, something's gone wrong. If those men are out there, something's gone wrong, man.
Hey, a back 3 of Lindelof, Maguire, and Shaw.
Yeah. Imagine the 2026-27 season. We roll out at home to Fulham. And the back 3 is Lindelof, Maguire, and Shaw, yo.
We were saying this 2 years ago with Maguire, though, weren't we? Do you know what I mean? Imagine if Maguire's still playing and Lindelof and do you know what I mean? Like,
imagine that the start of the season, 2026-27, them 3 are there, and Bruno's still the captain. Rashford, Nacho, wing backs.
Would it be a surprise, though?
Yes, I you know why it'd be a surprise? Because I have more faith in Amorim than that.
And
I hope so.
And Ineos as well. They're the main
Yeah.
ones.
I have
If that
more
does
faith
happen,
out
though,
of them. Amorim,
I'm doing what Saeed said the other day. I'm going FC United, mate. I'm doing. Also, I did start at the beginning. Saeed, don't think I've not seen you talking about the best D you've ever had. By the way, let's not forget. Let's not forget.
I was close to saying it.
Yeah. Hey, it was on your head. That's that.
No, it was close. It didn't come out fully.
I'm not gonna. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, that's a big
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Hey,
Yeah,
no,
that's a big one.
No, yo,
bro.
But serious though, like, because I was watching that that stream. Genuinely, it's one of you are genuinely that, and I'm not glazing or anything. I know the chat will probably say it. You genuinely are one of the funniest brothers I've ever known in my entire life, because your comedic timing and also what you say, because you don't think about it, it's natural and it's so natural. Mate, I was crying laughing. I've had to show bare people today. I'm crying laughing, like, because bro, it's funny because you was proper buzzing about how you stood up for Palestine. And you were
I was like,
it's the way you caught yourself when you said it, because they said it to me and I was watching it on my stream. Big up for the raid as well. I was watching it on my stream, so we posted it up because it's like, have you seen Saeed say this crazy pause? And it's the way you caught yourself. The double say your comedic timing is brilliant.
Perfect.
Brilliant.
Nah, it's crazy,
you know, it didn't go all the way out. That is crazy.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And now people are onto me with this Paul Pogba situation as well. Like,
are we gonna talk about that? I feel like we should.
Listen, it's been shut down now, so it's like almost like, you know, it can't happen. You know what I mean? But for me, again, it's a fantasy, isn't it? With the idea of something happening, yeah. But on a free, and I would say let's say 6-month contract.
Come on,
you know what I mean?
It'd be worse than Ronaldo, mate. It'd be worse than
Ronaldo. Surely not.
Bro, he's not played for over a year or whatever it is. He's injury. How injury prone was he at United at the back end, bro? He was never fit. And whether that's because he wanted to leave, whether that's because he was pissed off with the club, whatever. Bro, he was injury prone, and he'll only get worse. I personally, when the news come out about him coming to Carrington to help him, you know, helping a former player get a new club, all over it, bro. Because I actually think, because people are saying him being around the club is a bad thing. I actually think it'd be a fucking good thing. I think, you know, he's painted as this narcissist, this, you know, what did he say? A virus around the club. That's what Jose was saying. Bro, he's anything but. Like, he's absolutely anything but. I actually think he would bring so much joy to that club. I know Amorim is there, and it's probably going to go that way anyway. But I don't see Paul Pogba being around for a few months before he goes and signs in Saudi or MLS or wherever he goes. I actually don't think that's even a bad thing. But to give him a contract would be. But I'd rather see you in midfield, Saeed. I know you're saying if you're going to be in a charity match, you pay midfield. I'd rather see you there, bro. To be fair.
Bro, like, obviously, I don't think it's gonna happen anyway. But if you're telling me he was at Carrington, he was training there, like, not like a lot of people wouldn't be able to hold their emotions in and be like, yo, like, he's there ready, like, and saying, yo, yeah, cool, say no more, bye bye. You can go wherever you want to go, like. Bro, like, I mean, when you look at this midfield, or you look at the 2-10 roles that, you know, he could be involved with, like, it's...
Nah, bro, we're meant to be building.
Is this going to be a different Pogba as well? Like, is this going to be the same Pogba? We're getting the same Pogba, really, or is everything that he's been through the last couple of years, is that going to change him as well?
Injuries are the only concern for me. Ability-wise, no way.
Older,
you know slower. No way. Like,
bro,
his ability gone. No way.
I don't think he didn't rely on pace though. Double A. He wasn't a player that relied on pace.
No, but I just mean I'm not saying he'd be paced, but he will be slower, mate. His reaction for that 6 months, his reactions are going to be slower because he's not played for He's not played for a year, bro. Like
the match sharpness is
match sharpness. Yeah.
But
bro, my main thing is, and someone saying I'm talking rubbish, but it's like, bro, we're meant to be building for the future. 6 months of Paul Pogba, what's that building towards? It's vibes. And listen, we've been a club for vibes for far too long. And this is someone who fucking loves Paul Pogba to death, who feels like we massively let Paul Pogba down. But nah, mate, no way, not a chance, mate. You're all dreaming. People say I'm on good drugs. I think you're on the highest hopium you've ever seen in my life, mate. Because there's no way you're taking Paul Pogba. No way.
It's one of them. It sounds fantastic. It sounds great because ability-wise, we all know it's there. I'm a big fan of Paul Pogba. Defended him majorly when he was here. I believe the vast majority of the criticism he received was way over the top and unwarranted. Bear in mind, we put him in the worst possible predicament, playing him out of position vast majority of the times. The managers he had, the players he had around him, it wasn't solely on him. And it sounds great. It does. Paul Pogba return to Manchester United. It's going to go right. Him playing in one of those 10 roles. Amorim's here. Big up to Monts every single time. That sounds fantastic. Then when you look at the actual, it's a better idea in theory than actually what you think about it. It's like getting back with your ex.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Getting back with your ex initially sounds fantastic. The great times you had, she's still good looking, probably, etc. Oh, it's all well and wonderful, and you think about all the good times. However, there's a reason you two broke up, and that's
Still
what it is with Paul Pogba.
Still watches trash TV. Still just an absolute nightmare. Still can't take him out in public. Just a hell of mess.
Like that.
Hella problems, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She sees you talking to someone and she wants to swing on you and the girl, and it's like, yo, nothing happened. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
She's like,
we've got potential
here. So that's what it is with Paul Pogba. It's like, yo, let it go. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's best for Manchester United. I don't think it's best for Paul Pogba. Manchester United is already, we're always teetering on the edge of complete anarchy. We are always so close to the purge, and let Paul Pogba be here when the result goes bad. It's just extra negativity that's not needed in the football club. Yeah. We've seen it happen.
It'd probably be a disaster, but it's like you say, it's the hopium. Do you know what I mean? It's the idea of it.
You need to stop dealing with hopium.
Pogba balling at Old Trafford. It's that image. Do you know what I mean? Because he never really did for us, do you know what I mean? And maybe this could be,
and guess what?
That's all it is. You know, we're just romantic. That's all it is. We're romantic. We like a bit of romance.
Exactly. There's no romance in football. Give me my wins and my trophies. You know what I'm saying? I want victory. And the reason, but to add to your point, the reason is that romance and nostalgia is the reason most people tuned in to watch Mike Tyson fight Jake Paul. Everyone thinks Mike Tyson's going to rewind the tape and be Mike Tyson from the 90s, you know what I'm saying, and knock him out.
No, he definitely isn't.
But no. But that's why people locked in, because they thought for a split second in that fight, he could turn into old Iron Mike and knock him out. That's why 90,000 people, for the vast majority, were there. That's why it did 50, 60 million views on Netflix. That's why it would have done what it done on socials and all the illegal streams as well. It's because people had that small hope that 57, 58, almost 60 years old Mike Tyson can turn into prime Mike Tyson for a second and knock him out. Romance, was it ever going to happen? No. It's out there with a knee brace like he's Stone Cold Steve Austin. But people still believe. And it's the same with Pogba. It's the same. People think, it's going to be Pogba, the Pogba that we got at Juventus. You know what I'm saying? He was a part of the midfield three with Vidal and Pirlo at Juventus, and they won Scudetto with the Coppa Italias, and he can third time back, and Amorim's here, and stop it. Stop,
bro.
No.
So people in the chat talking about Pogba's won a World Cup. So what, bro? It doesn't. So's Rafa Varane. What you on about? Like, yes, he did well in his career. At 31, mad injury prone. It is not worth bringing him back. Let him train and go and find a new club and wish him well. But having him here to play games for us, you imagine he starts over Mainu because he's had one game decent.
We don't need to start over Mainu. You can play together. They can play together in the team.
Let me finish.
Well, Bruno gonna hit the bench.
See, look, you're already making excuses for him, Saeed. If he starts over Mainu, for instance, with Agate, because Agate's.
But you just said Mainu can't play every game and whatnot.
Let me just get my point out.
Yeah.
So imagine he starts with Agate or Mainu or whoever. It doesn't matter. He starts over someone, and then United lose. What is the comeback to that going to be? It's not worth it, mate, because we've seen it so many times with Paul Pogba. He gets victimized and he gets absolute dog's abuse for literally.
But we won't be hanging a coat on him, though. That's the thing, double A. Like he's not the guy in the midfield. Do you know what I mean? He's just being extra.
It's just a problem we don't need. It's just a problem we don't need. We don't have to have it.
I don't see it as a problem, man. I see it as
again,
It's Johnny Evans put in the midfield.
long
you don't
season.
think, look, as bad as we've been, he's the GOAT. We just talked about the romance. We're expecting him to deliver everything. That's why I'm in the chat talking about World Cups. He's the guy we're hanging our hat on. He's the if we sign Paul Pogba right now, we are looking for him to deliver the Europa League, the
To be
Premier
Paul
League,
Pogba.
the Champions
Well, I
League,
think
even though
that's
we're not
what
in
we've
it.
got right now.
Wimbledon, the French Open, you know what I'm saying? The US Open. Like,
Is it not
we are
sure to sign
expecting
Rabiot?
everything.
Bro,
Do you know what I
bro,
mean?
Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. Rabiot, man.
no. The
Rabiot
perfect
for
example.
free.
Yeah, the perfect example is exactly what's happening in the chat, mate. It couldn't be more divided. Why do it? Why do it? It's
Yeah,
not,
that's
worth
the
it.
fan base,
And
innit?
I don't
It's
think
not worth it.
it's a good environment for Pogba. Forget us for a second. I don't even know me. Look at players like that. You
To
think
this
we're the
fan
best?
base.
You think we're the best environment for Pogba to succeed playing football?
Right
don't.
now, more than ever, probably, yeah.
So okay, so Saeed, take away
Ineos
your
coming in,
take
the new
take away
manager.
you. So Saeed, let me ask you a question. This is to everyone in the chat as well. Take away being a Manchester United fan. Take away being a fan of football. You're an advisor to Paul Pogba. You're advising him on the
I'm
next
advising
steps he
not to
should
come
make.
to Man United.
That's the point I'm making.
But I'm saying as a United fan, I would
Okay,
welcome
so
him with open arms.
So let me, of course, because he's a quality player. I would. I'm not saying we shouldn't. I'm not saying that. No, well, we shouldn't sign him. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm saying we shouldn't sign him for all the reasons we're talking about. But Saeed, why would you advise him not to come to Manchester United, Paul Pogba?
Right now,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm probably looking at it from me, probably the fans most importantly. Probably the toxicity with the fan base. Maybe what Double A is saying there. That bit only. But not
That's
in
my
terms of
point.
ability, not in terms of our team. Like, we have a team that is lacking a lot of quality, guys, man. We're watching. Come on, bro. Like,
But the quality
we're
we
watching
should get,
guys that are Mason Mount, bro. Like,
bro,
if you
but
told me right
the
now,
quality we should get should
Mason
be longer than
Mount
6 months.
and all
It
of
should be
these
longer
guys,
than 6 months,
Paul
bro.
Pogba's there. You're crazy. You
Don't get
told
me
me
wrong.
every day of the week to watch Mason Mount or Paul
Of
Pogba.
course,
A half fit Paul Pogba.
I mean, Saeed, there's people. You have people in your phone book who are more talented than Mason Mount. You can call right now. That's not the debate. We all know Paul Pogba's talented.
Yeah.
No one's disputing his talent.
Yeah.
It's not a talent thing. Paul Pogba's been out of the game for over a year. He thought he might never play again. So he's been through this mental roller coaster of that. You're now on the up. Physically, you're not at it in regards to match sharpness and match fitness because you haven't played in a year. You need to go somewhere where you are going to, at bare minimum, get a clean slate. Obviously, you want to be somewhere you're loved. He's not getting a clean slate or love at Manchester United Football Club. We know this. We know our fan base is going to be straight away. There's going to be no, what's the word I'm looking for? No, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no patience from the vast majority of our fan base with Paul Pogba. You're expected to hit the ground running. Forget the fact that you haven't played in a year. Forget the fact that you're a few years older. No. Perform. You're the go-to guy. No, I'm saying bring him back. Nah, man, it's like getting back with your ex.
6 month deal. I'm taking it. That's all I'm saying anyway.
For what?
6 month deal.
For what? For vibes?
The end of the season.
Just so you can do the Pog back dance at Old Trafford.
No. I'm just saying. For me, it's a long season.
It's crazy.
Europa League. We got a lot of games to play.
Well, we've got a squad.
A big asset. So
We've got.
I'm taking it. It's not like I said to you. For me, I don't think you'll be on crazy wages as well. That's another thing as well. I think you'd be on decent wages. I think Ineos would control that. And
He could be on a packet of skips and a Twix, mate. I'm still not taking him. No chance. Man.
Fair enough. This is all about opinion. And if you want him, you want him. If you don't, you don't. Simple as that. But yeah, going back, I wanted to talk about Gyökeres, man. This one here, one super chat comes in. Super Archer fans are overreacted. People said same for Greenwood. New era, let him try 2 League Cups and 1 Europa League under his belt. Replace Ericsson for Pog back. Shout out to Super Arch for the donation, man. We talk about Gyökeres, man. He's been talking. I think he said something about that United have already got 2 strikers at the minute. So I'm not sure if that's a viable option right now. He probably won't leave in January. I don't know if you guys seen Hoyler's performance. People saying it wasn't great. I've seen the highlights and that, but you know what I mean? People said it wasn't great and whatnot. But yeah, man. Gyökeres, he wants to finish the season here. I love it here. New club. We'll see when the time comes. I want to play the crucial, and there will be also other factors, man. I see it as a summer thing anyway, man. If United are going to go and get him now. But what you man saying, is this a sign that's going to happen? or
Is he going to still be available in the summer, or is someone going to go in January?
Sure.
I don't think he'll go January. I can't.
Not to us, but could there be someone
No,
else?
yeah.
This
This is what I mean. I don't see someone
he got
talking
released
that
for?
money.
At the end,
No, I don't think
summer, yeah.
I'm sure he does. It's 80 million euros, I think.
Okay.
80 million euros. Listen, who's forking that? Only Chelsea I can think of, and I don't think Chelsea will do it. I think
it's like £55 million though, right? That's not too bad.
But
Arsenal could do it.
A January outlay, that's quite big.
No, January. I'm talking summertime.
Summertime. Summertime. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think he's gonna have the amount of clubs after him. To be honest with you, we just have to. Thing is, like, this the only reason I couldn't get excited about it or start to say United go for it is we don't know what he's going to do with the two strikers we've got, and I'd rather see for a couple of months what Amorim's got in store for these two, because I'm not saying he's going to start. Like they're going to start bagging goals, 20, 30 goals, but we don't know. And I'm not going to sit here and start saying that again, they're amazing players. They've shown they're amazing right now, and he's going to come in and they're going to start performing. But I'm in a state where, with every player, I'm just happy to wait and see what he's going to do with them and how he's going to turn them around. And if they don't, we go from there. But from here to the summer, it's a long time, I think, especially in the season. So it's a hard one. I would love him. I think he's shown this season how fantastic he is. Scoring crazy goals, scoring the amount of goals he scored already, and the goal involvements is ridiculous. Portuguese league or not, and I think someone's gonna get him. I would like it to be United, but I think we're in a situation now where we have to try and get the best out of two players we've spent almost 100 million on in the last 2 summers, really.
And that's the bad part. That's the bad part, because Eddie's saying there how much money we spent on strikers these past years is wild. It's true, and it goes to show how bad the investment is. Yeah, but we need a striker. We have to sign a striker in the summer. I don't even think Højlund or Xerxes at their best are going to be anywhere near prolific enough. When this system, you have a striker and 2 10s. 2 of those 3 have to get your goals. Normally, we're talking if it's a back 4 and a 4-2-3-1. Normally, it's your 10, your 2 wide players and a striker. 2 out of those 4 or 3 out of those 4 are prolific. Normally, it's 2 or 3. So in this system, with the striker, with the 2 10s, 2 of those 3 have to be prolific. Otherwise, we are not going to score goals. We've had a goal scoring problem for years. As much as I don't want us to invest. As much as we shouldn't need to invest. That's the words I'm looking for. Because of the money we spent it horrendously. Do I expect Amorim's system and his tactics to help us create more and score more goals? Yes. But even with that being said, it's still not enough. Because I think it gets to the Spurs conundrum. Whereas Ange's system allows them to create enough and score enough. It's just the question that their attackers are terrible. Now, you can talk about their recruitment. That's a whole different thing. But the quality in our attack and our final third play is not good enough. We need a striker. We need another 10. We need 2 wing backs. If we don't get those 4 positions sorted in the summer, we are in trouble. We need those for the same way we went defensive in terms of the players we signed this past summer. Inagate, Mazzarri, De Ligt, Euro, the only attacker we signed was Xerxes. We did well, I think, from a defensive standpoint. Now we have to sort it on the other end. I don't think our wing backs are good enough going forward. I think we desperately need another 10, and we desperately need a striker. Who's scoring goals for us?
That's what I'm saying.
It's a goal thing. We need a striker in the summer. That's just my opinion on it. Big up to Black Diamond as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm with you. I think with the Højlund thing yesterday, I seen the video, right? And it's just the hold-up play. That's the key thing. Like, can you teach that? Can you learn that? You know what I mean? There's a lot of, kind of, what would I say, wrestling going on. You know what I'm saying? And so I generally don't know, man. That's going to be the biggest obstacle for Amorim to kind of get him.
Forget him holding the ball up. Make him run it. Like, we know he's not the best at holding the ball up. From a technical aspect, run the channels.
Yeah, but look where Gyökeres was at a similar age. Like Gyökeres, where was he? Coventry, Brighton.
Where was he at? What did Gyökeres do? I'm not even sure. I know he was at because people spoke about Coventry and said people said Coventry was decent. But I didn't watch it. But people who
I feel like
he was good.
Well,
yeah, I feel like we've got the perfect opportunity now to at least give Højlund and Xerxes and maybe Rashford in that number 9 a chance now for the rest of the season, and then we can assess from there. Because who knows? You know, we saw last season, Højlund put up decentish numbers for the first season in the Premier League. You know, you've seen when he does get opportunities, he can put the ball in the back of the net. The problem was he was starved a lot of the time of opportunity. So maybe he gets a little bit more opportunities. He starts scoring a couple more goals and enough to kind of get us into a spot where we're pushing for the Champions League, and that would be the hope. But even then, I feel like it's not Højlund that's the issue. I feel like Xerxes. You know, I'm not a fan of Xerxes. I just don't feel like Xerxes fits in the system. I don't feel like Xerxes is a guy for us, and I don't think he'll ever be quick enough in the Premier League. I don't feel like he doesn't move defenders enough, and he just doesn't do enough for me. You know, he's got. Listen, we all know he's good with the ball. He's good with the ball at his feet, and he's good bringing others into play. But I just don't feel like he's just quick enough. I don't think he moves quick enough. I mean, you saw Weghorst come and provide more options and more movement, and in the couple of months he was here than Xerxes has done so far. Okay, might say it's a little bit early for Xerxes, but I just don't see it with a guy. You know, he's got tree trunk legs. He looks clunky. He's not for me, that guy. But we do.
I've seen some bits on him. I think you're writing him off far too soon, mate. And I think, for me personally, I think it's so hard to write off or start judging players when they're coming into that environment that they've all come into this summer. I'm sorry, but the state of the club was in under the previous manager mate. It's hard for anyone to shine. The only person that shined, you would say, is Mazraoui, and even then, I can still see massive improvement coming from him.
Nah, you just know though, double A.
Like, he come on and scored that goal. But he come on and scored that goal. That was instinct, and that's there in him. It's getting him out.
Which goal went?
So his debut goal, his Fulham goal, that was instinct of a striker.
He did nothing for the rest of it. Do you know what I mean? And he swung a leg. Who knows that?
No, it's not swung a leg. He's got in the right position, and he's put that in the net like a proper striker that we don't have. Yeah, quality finished, and we don't see Rasmus do that often enough. So I'm not disagreeing with some of your points. Yes, there's times he looks sluggish and slow, but there has been times he's shown instances of good hold-up play, bringing players into play. We've seen a little bit of link-up with Rashford on times. So there is something there. The problem is getting it out of him.
You know what's bad, yeah? I think Ten Hag disrupted his flow, man, when he was starting at the start of the season, right?
I think so.
He was doing all right, yeah. And then there was a game where I think Ten Hag just dropped him. And then obviously after that, he never really recovered because he's not an impact player.
Yeah, because the thing is, we know that in regards to Ten Hag doesn't help anyone, and I take that into consideration. Do I want to see more from Xerxes? Yes, but I can't. The reason why I'm not writing him off yet, because I've just not seen enough yet in regards to him playing. Man's not even started 4 games in a row, whereas Højlund. Bear in mind, I just said as well, we need a striker regardless, because I don't think these two currently are at the level that's going to be required. We've seen Højlund went 00-16. We watched that happen. As bad as the team was, we watched him go 00-16. We're watching Xerxes struggle at times. And we definitely, without doubt, need an improvement in that area. With Xerxes, we'll see, maybe it's one of the 2-10 roles. Maybe that's where his technical ability will help him in that scenario. But it ties into what I said initially. Be useful for the manager right now, but eventually improvements. If we do not sign a striker in the summer, we are in trouble. We should not, those two should be 2 and 3. Whoever's second, whoever's third choice, cool. That's on them to fight out and reach a certain level. Like I stated, maybe Xerxes plays as one of the 10s, useful assets to the squad. But unless we see vast improvements from them, which they should not be in the lineup. And if they are, we are in trouble again, people. Those front 3 positions are vital in terms of goals. 2 of those 3 have to be prolific. Because are
you having Xerxes starting in any of those 3 though, Flawless? Are you having Xerxes? Are you having him over Amadi? Are you having him over Mainu? Are you having him over even Bruno?
Are you saying right now or going forward? Are you saying right now or going forward?
He's a sub at best.
No, you have to wait.
Sub best.
Bro,
wait.
You don't know that, though. No, because you don't know that.
He's got 13 goals in 2 seasons.
What we're talking about? Listen, what I'm saying to you, bro. Let me land then, bro. What I'm saying to you is, you don't know what Amorim has got lined up for him. So you're talking on. But you're talking on history. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, this is why I've got patience for these players. Some of the players is that you don't know how he's going to utilize him, what he's going to do. And the one with Højlund, listen, his conversion rate is unbelievable. No, it's not hope. It's the patience of this. What we're talking about, Amorim getting us to where we want to go. It's the exact same with the players. You can't say you want the manager to get us to challenging.
Do you want him starting?
But I'm happy to see I'm happy to see what Amorim wants to do with this team, and I'm happy to see how they get coached properly. That's what we want from them. So I can't sit here and go because
and you can see it.
I can see what you're saying, and I can see where he looks sluggish. I can see where he is letting himself down in games by doing stupid things that he shouldn't be doing. But I also know that's an environmental thing, because every player is doing the same fucking thing. But what I'm saying is, I can't start writing all these players off when I've not even seen the manager take one training session with them. How can I do that? So I'd say what I'm saying with these two strikers is, if by March, April, they're still doing the same things, they're still outputting shit, they're still missing mad chances, then I'm going to start having problems, because the manager then, for me, should be implementing, and we should see a clear style of play and a clear ideology of what this manager is going to do going forward. But I have to see what he's going to do with them first before I start saying they should be nowhere near the team.
And what I'm going to say
I'm just saying we need to be dropping Xerxes, and Højlund needs to be second, Gyökeres first, Højlund second, Xerxes needs to be nowhere near the team.
But dropping him from what though? Dropping him from what? Because you don't know what system we're playing. You don't know how we're going to play.
No, but what I'm saying, I just don't see the quality in the lad. Do you know what I mean? He scored what before he got
a chance. He's not had the chance though, because you need like Fowler said, you need that run of games, bro. You can't keep coming in and out the side and expect to turn it on like that. You need a run of games.
One thing I will say is, because you asked me about, do I want to see him start? Let's say it is a striker and 2-10s. Do I want Xerxes starting right now in the first game as one of those 2-10s? No, but I don't want Bruno starting as one of those 2-10s. But with Xerxes, what I'm going to do is give him a run of games. Do I believe he's the guy to be starting week in, week out from what I've seen, and it's only a small sample size? No, I don't think he is. No, but do I think he could? Do I think we could get more out of him playing one of those 2-10 roles? Absolutely. Just be a useful squad player. How much was Xerxes? 40 M's, right?
34 minutes. Yeah.
34. All right, get me 34. So he was hot. So wait, basically, how much was Højlund? Højlund was double what Xerxes was pretty much.
Yeah.
So Højlund was so if you're double what he is, get me 44 million pounds worth out of Xerxes, which as a squad player, I think he is. I think we forget that. Højlund was 70 M's. So I'm looking at you as a 70 million pound player. Now, do I expect Amorim to get more out of him? Yes, but I tie back into this to say, I don't think either of them are good enough currently right now. Xerxes, I'm not writing off simply because I've not watched enough. I watched Højlund go 0016. That's unforgivable. I watched him do that. I watched him not make runs. I watched him not put in the effort. I'd rather you be offside 25 times a game making the runs. Too easy to play against. Now, Xerxes, you could label some of those things, not the effort side of things, but being too easy to play against. However, you've not had has he even started 3 games in a row for us? How many games has he started?
I mean,
at the start he was starting.
I won't write off any player who's not started at least 3-4 games in a row for us. I need to see you play.
Bro. I think
5 spare
to get a rhythm. You have to.
I have to see you play 3, 4, 5 games in a row so I can adjust, so I can assess you properly. I don't even think he started. I think he started 2. I think he's played 3 games, 90 minutes, something crazy like that across all pumps. Maybe
when a player's coming off the bench, they're coming off the bench with energy, with pace, with having read the game, having witnessed what's happened for the last 60, 70 minutes. They understand what's going on. He comes on, he barely offers anything. Do you know what I mean? Whenever he is in the team, I just don't see it. I'm not seeing it.
You don't really offer too much.
Other than his ability, he doesn't make runs. He doesn't make movement. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's he got to improve? So he's got to improve his movement. He's got to improve his finishing. He's got to improve. Like he's built. He's got so many areas to improve, and I just don't see it.
But again, you're talking about someone who's coming. It's 3 months in at a new club, mate, new league. Like, you're giving him absolutely no chance to. Not every player jumps in and hits the ground running. We've seen that so many times at Manchester United. Yeah. So I think this whole writing him off and saying he should be fucking nowhere near the team.
I
just think it's over. Into that team. And
not under Ten Hag. Not under Ten Hag, who picks his favourites. Absolutely. We knew Rashford. We knew Højlund was going to be his number.
That being said, no one's thrived in this attack. We do have to take that into consideration.
That's what I say all the time.
None of our attack. That's why I give them all leeway to, not all of them. Some of like even Højlund to an extent. Garnacho, no, because you've played often enough. Rashford, no, you've played often enough. Whereas Xerxes and Højlund is less, but I also take into consideration price tags. Xerxes was 34 million.
Time will tell, but I'm just not seeing it. Do you know what I mean? Time will tell, and I'm telling you, we're just not going to see it from the guy.
My thing is, it's like, you know, for me, it's like with Ash, at least he's consistent saying, you know, I don't see it with Hoyle as well, and I don't see it with, you know, with Xerxes. I think that's what maybe a lot of people are doing at the minute. Maybe they don't have confidence in the attack. You know, I seen Anthony training today. You know, he's looking like he wants to get back in and start doing things and whatnot. You got Amad Diallo, got Garnacho, who, like I said, man, he's there, but a lot of people don't rate him. You know, they don't think he's good enough. We've got to start like.
We've got to look for a proper striker, Saeed. We've got to look for a top quality world-class striker like Gyökeres. I mean, get him in. Stop worrying about these players that might do it in the future, could do it in the future. Are we expecting Gyökeres to come in and then not perform in the first 5-6 games and then start making excuses for him? And it's just one of those. You know, you need players. United, you need players to come in and kind of hit the ground running. You need that. That's as a club we've been that in the past. You know what I mean? And Xerxes, for me, he's not going to be that guy. And that's why I'm looking at a Gyökeres, and you've got to get that. We should have brought in Tony in the summer. That's who we should have brought in. Do you know what I mean? And we're looking at Xerxes.
But who's to say in this right environment now, this whole new environment, you don't hit the ground running? Who's to say that don't happen? Well, what I'm saying is, I
hope it does.
But I think the environment all these players have come into, mate, has been so toxic, and the previous manager has absolutely killed all vibe for the club. Like no one is doing well. You talk about 4 players, I'd say, that are looking really well. Amad, Delit, Mazraoui, and probably Onana are probably the 4 you'd say can hold their heads up. Everyone else has been off it far too much, and I just think someone like Z saying now, why am I fighting your? I'm not fighting your opinion. I'm just giving my opinion back. That I think for me to write someone off after 3 months is crazy. I just think he deserves time to show.
No, I get it.
Especially under someone who can coach him properly.
And bear in mind, again, it's not writing off. It's your 34 million. Can you be a useful squad? I'm already looking at him like, can you be a useful squad player? That's where I'm at with it. This is why I stressed all summer long.
We're already looking at a squad player flawless. Like, what are we doing?
The thing is, though, Ash, unfortunately, because of what he's shown so far and how he is, this is where I do semi-agree with you on that. That's how we're looking. That's how I'm looking at him. Do I think Xerxes is going to transform? You asked me. Do I think Xerxes is going to transform and be one of our starters? No, I don't. Honestly, and that's off, a short sample size. So if someone fights me back on that and says, you've not seen enough of him, I hear it. But I can only go off what I've seen. And what I've seen, do I think he's good enough to be starting week in, week out for where we want to go to? No. Do I think he can be a useful squad player? Yeah, and that's not a bad return. He was £34 million. If he becomes a useful squad player, that's money well spent to me. If he was 80 million, whole different conversation. We can't have it on the flip side, because when a player is expensive and fails, we always want to mention it. One of the third things we mentioned about Anthony was, he was 90 million. If he was 29 million, whole different conversation. So I have to take that into consideration with Xerxes, because I can tell you this, if Xerxes was 85 million, it would get brought up a lot. He's 34 million. There's a reason for that. We talk about getting bumped all the times, bad deals and overspending for players.
Paid the release clause.
Guess what? We paid the release clause. He was 34 million. If he's a useful squad player and helps us move forward, that is 34 million well spent, in my opinion. That's just me, though.
Yeah,
bro, I agree. You know, Mazraoui was brought in for 13 million to be a squad player.
And he's
our best player.
He's going to be a first teamer.
Our best
player. That's the point I'm making.
So,
even if
I'm going to say, we bought a player that did unbelievably well for Bologna last season and getting them to the Champions League. A team that isn't fancied to get into the Champions League. He's not turned shit overnight, and I just think there's a lot of variables that have caused the effects of the player that we're seeing. I just don't think it's just not at this moment in time. It's not working out, and I just think, short sample size or not, I just think this instant results, instant performances, instant goals mentality that a lot of fans have, that everything has to work out straight away. There's no time to bed in anymore, and you have to hit the ground running. And to some aspects, I agree with that absolutely, because we're in that position where we need it to happen. But I just think right now, if we was to go with Ten Hag, if Ten Hag was still in situ, and he was going to be there at the end of the season, and we kept seeing these performances with Xerxes, I'd be absolutely on it with you, mate, 100%. I just think from now, like we said about the new signings, I think they deserve a clean slate. I think the ones that have been bought this summer deserve to see how they go under this new head coach. And Xerxes, for me, is probably the one that needs it the most, because we know how bad Manchester United strikers have been for 5, 6, 7, and probably even 10 years. The strikers have been shit. So, if anything, we need to see what this manager can do to get us back attacking properly. 100%.
I believe it was an idiot signing, though.
I think so. I think all 5 were this summer. All 5 of them were, mate.
All 5 were idiot signings this summer.
And that's why Ugarte didn't play. Because he's not a player. He's only started to play because he started to perform. Because you look at the... what game was it in the Europa League? And Ugarte played fantastic, and then he didn't even get a minute afterwards in the next league game. The manager was picking his favourites, or it was forced to think, I'll throw him out in the shit cup. I'm not asked about the Europa League, but in the league, I'm not going to touch him. And Ugarte has been probably one of the best players, or starting to show the quality of the reason why we've gone and bought him.
And you mentioned there, like Maserati, with the price he was bought at. If he was a useful squad player, we'd all go money well spent, where it seems. And so far, he's been of a certain quality where he plays in the first team. Again, we can't do that. Like, rivals will do that and run jokes about when the players of a high price tag and fall short. We can't fall into that. We can't fall into that when the players, we've paid X amount for a player and he's not performing at a high level. He's £34 million. Guess what? Xerxes might never be better than a £34 million player. That might be his bar. Which at Manchester United is a squad. And I said this right at the very beginning when we was talking about the players. I don't want the vast majority of these players here anyway. Like, going forward, like 22nd season in for Amorim. Most of these players shouldn't be in the first team. At best, I think the vast majority of these players are squad players, to be honest. I think take Maino out, Diallo. That's probably it. Maybe a couple others, but few and far between. You're talking 2-3 names out of 25, 26. So, like, that's how I'm looking at it in regards to it. But we'll see. But strikers needed. We need a striker.
No, 100%. Guys, there's 1.4K in the building. Only 526 likes. So, guys, let's get these likes up, man. We need 700 likes ASAP, people. So, hit the like button. Now, listen, I think for me, it's exciting, man. It's exciting that we're demanding a lot from everyone, man. You know what I mean? I think that kind of protection and whatnot, it's all good, man. It needs to happen. I think Ash wants more. Everyone wants more. We're all demanding more. It can only be a good thing, man, for the club, because, boy, we've been like too protective of these players, man. Oh, but give this player time. That's not going on here. What's going on there? But he's not adapting. This, that, the other. Like, bro, like, Amorim cannot let these players win again, bro. Like, generally, like, every other manager, there's been some players that have won in the end and said, yo, bye-bye. I'm not even giving you a thank you. You know, certain players didn't even put a thank you message to Ten Hag. You know what I mean? So, boy, like, I think for me, it's like, you got to understand that these man, they'll stab you in the back, man. You got to be careful, man.
That's on him. Because people have said that, or what if he co-signs a Bruno or co-signs Rashford or Garnacho or whoever, or players that have been here. Guess what? The same managers, the managers who back them are now all unemployed and got sacked by Manchester United. So if you go hang your hat and co-sign these guys and say, you know what, I'm going to stand with these guys. I'm going to make Bruno my captain. I'm going to co-sign him getting a new deal. Guess what? You're going to get sacked. The evidence is there for you to see. Don't back these men like that. Don't make these your lieutenants and co-defendants. They're not your codies. They're not. They are part of it. They're a part of the team. Get what you can out of them from a useful perspective. They're not your second in command. They're not your third in command. They're runners. Literally. You know what I'm saying? They're runners. Make them runners.
I think the good thing with Amorim as well, like, and if, you know, like I said, some of the stuff he was saying, some of the quotes you lift from that interview are very veiled, I think. And him saying, "Yo, I'm the man to lead this new era, this new dream." He is Ineos's man. Let's not forget that. Yeah. So he very much has the backing of the club, mate. So it's a case of now for these players. And I said, you know, him saying, I played all these different positions. We hit the ground running from day one. You have to be on board. It's all veiled to the, like, listen, if you're not on it, you're gone. Like, there's no second. This is your chance now to impress. There's no second chance from here on out. So for me, they have to all get on board. They have to all perform immediately, and they have to all get behind this way of moving forward, because Ineos are gonna back him. And I don't think any names off the table now. Seriously, I think if whoever he goes to him and says, listen, he's just not getting it. Whether it is a Rashford, whether it is a Bruno, whether it is anyone that's brought in that he hasn't signed, listen, they can't do it. get rid. And I think they're going to back him with it. I think they're going to show that now it's less about players. It's less about this me culture, and it's about the standards of the club raising back to where they should be, that we've all been crying out for on this podcast for 18 months to 2 years for sure.
It's mad, when you say that, because it's like some players like have had about 6 managers already, 4 or 5 managers. Some of them
6, bro.
You know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
You actually had to, like, outside of like Bruno, Rashford.
Shaw and Rashford have had the most, haven't they?
Shaw, Rashford, Bruno. Is there anyone else?
Lindelof.
Maguire.
Lindelof. So they don't. So Lindelof, Maguire don't really start. Shaw's always injured. So who's starting in regulars? Who've got new managers? Dalot, you could argue with Mourinho. So you got Dalot, you got Rashford, you got Bruno. Obviously, Oli signed him. That's pretty much it, correct?
They're going to play as well. Rashford's going to play. Bruno's going to play.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, I'm cool with that in regards to this season. Get what you have. But if we are lining up, and Rashford's in the team, and Bruno's in and all of them are starting week in, week out, it's a problem. Amorim didn't do what he was supposed to in the summer. Our recruitment team didn't do what they're supposed to do in the summer. There's no way 2025-26 season we should see Rashford, Bruno, Garnacho, Shaw, whoever else in the line. If we do that, we're just going to continue the way we're going. How many managers and how many cycles and how many phases are we going to see these players in before we go, hey, you know what? It's not good enough. It's like Marvel, because they do phase 1, phase 2, and you keep rolling out the superhero and the films keep flopping. Eventually you cut it. But we just going to keep going phase 5, phase. How many times are we going to have the conversation about Rashford and Bruno and Shaw if they're good enough before we go, hey, you know what? Maybe these players just ain't it. So that's on him. That's on the recruitment.
He's been training on Rashford, so in America.
Yeah,
so
and of course,
good.
Utilize him. Yeah.
Anti's been training as well. So again, you know what I mean? Like everyone's training, but boy, you gotta be ready for that Ipswich game, man. Because boy, it's literally dog eat dog out there. Everyone's on watch. Like everyone has to perform, raise the levels, raise the bar, and it'd be interesting, because he was like, one of the biggest things what he said there was like, they might be young but still got to perform. Can't excuse that, So, and we have got a fairly old team. Like, our team is relatively young. Like it's not like a very, very old team. Like, you got a mixture in there, youth and experience. So yeah, man. I think it's now or never, man, for these players. Now or never.
Has to be. And the pressure is on. The pressure is on that game massively. Like, because to have this 2 weeks, this is why I was gutted the international break come so just at that time, because I just felt we just needed the anticipation of this game is now building. Though we're all saying we can't wait for the game against Ipswich. The pressure's on it. It's going to be on TV. There's no hiding from these players now from day one under Amorim. And Amorim, Amorim can't hide. The pressure's on him as well. It's not just the players, but the footballing world outside of Manchester United are desperate for us to lose this game. And the fact they just won their first game away to Spurs, it's just you think you write scripts, or you think of writing scripts for movies or whatever. It's poised for Manchester United to hold it up, and it all to start off poorly. And listen, we know these players can turn it on when they want to, and we know they can stink out the gaff more often than not. So I just
wouldn't be a surprise, would it?
I think it would be a surprise, because I think Ipswich are shit. So yeah, I think we should be beating them, mate.
Ipswich play a good brand. Ipswich play a good brand of football. However, we should be.
McKenna's good.
They've got the lap as well. Former Man City, so scripts there as well.
We should be.
We should be, of course.
The standard, the level they're at, bro. The relegation fodder, aren't they? Let's be honest. We should be beating this team if we want to be taken serious.
These players been played.
Yeah.
These players been outplayed by relegation fodder. Do you know what I mean? And been outplayed by League One teams. Do you know what I mean?
Apart from the last 4 games, though, and this is why I was so keen for Ruud to have that unbeaten run. The 4 games, I think,
of course,
was a nice bridge. Getting away from that absolute dross we've had to suffer, a nice little bridge, and we weren't fantastic. It was a case of just getting by, but to go unbeaten in them 4 games, I think was so important, mate. And I think this next week when Amorim really started to kick into gear, and I think the game on Sunday, it's just massively important, and we should be beating teams like this. These are the games Manchester United wouldn't even, they wouldn't even get out of third gear. Do you remember when we just would turn up and just batter teams like this? We had the odd one where we'd throw a stinker and get beat, but more often than not, we would just batter, and we need to get. That's where we want to get back to, and I think there's no perfect time. Just start how we mean to go on for the rest of the season. Go back these aside. I know Liverpool struggled in that first half against them start of the season, but listen, we have to be massively beating this team. And just quickly to Stu, it's the Mexico away, mate, from 2022. Just in case.
That's fire.
Some people have been asking about the shirt, but yeah, I was fired.
Yeah, that's fire, that kid. And here the thing is it not nice for rival fans to be hating on us and be trying to downplay the manager? Whereas it's all been but Ten Hag in, we all love Ten Hag, we want him to stay. Whereas now I've seen fans trying to crash it. Amorim's not going to do as well as you think he is. Or your expectations are too high. You're going to lose to Ipswich, etc., etc. Like, that's nice to be back there. Like, in regards to, it means we're going in the right direction, that there is some positivity. But for people who would complain and say, you four are just always negative, look at the positive things we've spoken about in regards to Amorim, and he's not even managed the game yet. Look at even though we have expectations of him, look how we're talking about him. We're talking about him in a positive manner. There's more pros than there is cons to it, and we all know that he has work to do. So the Ipswich game, it is all eyes on it, and I am expecting to see a difference. I am expecting a win, even though Ipswich are good to watch. They do play good football. Is the game going to be easy? Absolutely not. Are they going to give us a game? Yes, but we have to go there and win. They're battling relegation for a reason and have won one game out of 11 for a reason. Treat them as such. That's where we need to get back to. And if we fall short, that's on us. Yes, they gave Liverpool a game, but Liverpool won. Spurs lost to them. Everyone crashed on Spurs for that. That's where we need to get back to. So I'm very much looking forward to the game, which I can't believe I'm saying Ipswich away. Very much looking forward to it. How do we set up? How is he active? Let's say we go a goal down. What does he do? What happens if we're a goal up and under the cosh? Does he make a defensive change? Does he flip it and make an offense? All these are questions that we're going to see. What is the lineup? Who plays wing back? Is it Delo and Maserati? Is it Rashford and Garnacho? Is it Anthony? All of these things.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it.
No, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's going to be good.
I was going to say, like, we didn't have that new manager bounce under Ruud, so I'm hoping, the hope is that we have that with Amorim for the first couple, but that euphoric buzz around, the shackles being freed and us heading in the right direction.
Because I've been saying we're free, man. To the shackles being. That's how I feel, man. I feel like I'm out of jail, man. I really do. Still feel like I'm out of jail, but we move.
That's how it felt in the Leicester Cup game, bro. 5-2 at Old Trafford. Saeed, you was there, weren't you, for the Leicester game?
Saeed said it was rock. You man said it was rocking.
It felt but it just felt that both. Old Trafford don't have a roof, but it felt like the roof had been taken off because it just felt fresh air at last. Oh my days! Like you couldn't actually believe the atmosphere. I just think I just hope we can ride a crest of a wave. If we're gonna have our new manager bounce and the players start to book up, but it allows Amorim time to ride that. And pause, and also get that coach.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
The thing is, if I hadn't said it, you wouldn't even clocked onto it. Let's be real.
Nah, you waited it up. I won't even go say that. But go on.
Yeah.
Probably the chat.
It's the second time this week I've said something. I said his interview was meaty as well the other day. Which,
you
that's a big one. Now. Remember that one.
Saeed, it was a what one? It was a what one, Saeed?
That's a crazy one, Saeed.
That's crazy. Yeah. It's mad.
Yo, that's crazy. Hey, yo.
Anyway, I was.
That was
end of the day. Let's just hope Amorim can ride the crest of a wave of positivity.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But yeah, guys, make sure you don't hit the like button. We're gonna wrap up here. We need to get to 700 likes, guys, man. We're not even still there. 610, man. 1.3k here. Like that should be more, man. Should be more. The least we ask for
Yeah, man.
on the channel is likes, man. Well, big up to Ash, big up to Flawless, big up to Double A, man. Let them know where they can find you guys, man. Start with you, Ash.
Yeah, YouTube, Ash Mepper, same name. Vlogs, gonna try and do daily videos. We'll see this week. Yeah, I appreciate being on as always, Saeed. You're speaking to the boys, Flawless and Double A, and the chat as well, getting involved. Always appreciated. And make sure you're hitting the like. It's free, lads. You know, great content Saeed's putting out here daily, multiple times a day. Do you know what I mean? So support the man, give him a like, and let's move on.
Yeah, big up to you, man. Double A love, man.
Yeah, bro. Always good. Hey, it's a shame we didn't go to Stockport yesterday. No, Cole Palmer was there yesterday. Watching.
Was he?
Yeah, bro. Someone sent me a picture. Cole Palmer was at the Stockport game yesterday.
Yeah, that's the game I wanted to go to.
Yeah, it would have been good, man. But anyway, Saeed, as always, pleasure to be on your channel, mate. Absolutely love this show. Favorite time of the week, man, to come on the Unfiltered. And you was almost able to put heated in the title. I don't think we got there, but we was teetering a little bit. But don't get heated this podcast. That's as unfiltered as it is. It don't get heated. Sure. But yeah, man, always. But yeah, big up to you, Saeed, each and every time. And like Ash said, mate, that, you know, the fact that this guy should have so much more than 125k, which is mental to say anyway, is for me one of the most hardworking, humble, and best YouTubers that is out there. I'm not even joking. So more success that comes this man's way is massively deserved. Ash as well, another great creator. Go and support him. Go and check his journey, because he does fantastic things, and I'm excited to see more from him. And obviously, my hype man, Flawless, big up on the 13k, mate. That's absolutely fantastic.
Big up, appreciate that, man.
Deserve that. You know, we got, honestly, these two put me to shame. That the hard work they do is mental, and they're inspirational for me. So they deserve all the credit and all the praise and all the success that comes their way. Myself, finally I'm under 250 away from 1,000.
Yo, get you to a K, man. You lot subscribe, man.
Yeah. By the end, I'm hoping for the end of the year. That's the goal, end of the year. So FC double A, FC, the word double and A. A video is coming this week. Was it 3 players? I didn't put it out from the Chelsea game, but I want to just do it as a video without the vlog stuff. 3 players Amorim is going to get the best out of at Manchester United. Ash and Flawless both give us their opinions on that. So that'll be coming this week. And yeah, I'm just trying to get to 1,000 as quick as possible, grow the channel, seeing more stuff around me at games. I was at a Stockport game the other day for a video, all coming, you know, winner stays on, talking to the fans. That's what I'm about. So yeah, if you like anything I say, or if you don't, still come over and go and subscribe and get me to 1,000 as quick as possible. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Come on, people. Make sure you do that. Flawless, we're going to redirect to your show.
Appreciate it.
Yardman show. Come on.
Yeah, man, you already know. Anyone who's watched it, Premier League Podcast Yardman Edition is absolutely crazy. You know, anyone who's been in the barbershop is kind of like that setting. So shout out to my guys, Lex Kaneki, talking all things Premier League. Normally dunking on Arsenal. That's pretty much what the premise of the show is, like 95% of the time. So yeah, make sure you lock into that. Big up for having me on, though. As always, saying I appreciate it. I know it's week in, week out we do the show, but I genuinely look forward to it. And this show got me through dark Manchester United time, so it's great to actually be talking like positively from it. And it's great being on with you lot, because the conversation's always good. The conversation's always good, man. Always picking up new things and hearing like informative opinions. You know, no one's here trying to do clickbait or anything like that, or just going crazy for the sake of it, whether we agree or disagree. But yeah, man, subscribe to Sarcasm City TV YouTube channel and follow the playback as well. And big up for everyone who helped, man, reach 13k as well. Yeah, appreciate it.
Up, man.
Yeah, man.
You got Icon Bev for 7 months says, I'd like to have you on my channel side soon. AN Sports sometime soon. Big up, bro, all the way for best. All the best, 150k soon. Yeah, man. Big up to Kevin. Definitely, man. We'll sort something out.
Kevin, man.
Big up Kevin every single time.
There you go, people. Head over to Sarcasm City TV, guys. Sarcasm City TV raid. We'll see you there. Peace.